Hey Gemini, welcome to your April 2021 general reading. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You may get a little, you may get a lot, or you may need to check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. I also really enjoy checking out my midheaven. So if you're familiar with your natal chart, please take a look at that, and maybe that reading will resonate for you also. That's one of my favorite things to do personally. So anyways, I just wanted to share a couple things here. So right when I pressed record, I got for Gemini piece of cake. Piece of cake. So there may be something that seems like it's very difficult, some type of situation or choice, but it's kind of like riding a bike, right? You make the conscious decision that you're going to learn something, and so you put in the effort, the time, the attention to do it, and then eventually it becomes easier and easier over time. So this may be something that's like a life lesson or something that you've continuously had to go back to, right? And you may have been frustrated thinking these are repetitive energies, that you're over it, right? You throw your hands up in the air and then you're like, wait, I'm not done with this. There's some type of realization. And so now you're moving on from that. And it feels really good, Gemini. Whew, got chills. That feels really good. So let's see. I'm going to pull 3 major arcana cards here just to get us started, to allow us to get to the foundation of the energies that you'll be experiencing in April 2021. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment. There are links down to donate or either book a one-on-one reading with me if you'd like something a little more personal, as well as information about the cards that I'm using, and for you aspiring readers, the link to my class, Total Tarot. So without further ado, let us hop in. I'm just feeling like this very nice, cool energy of just needing to receive. Just needing to relax a little bit. That whole like piece of cake energy that I'm getting here with cherries on top. So it's like maybe you get your cake and then there's like a little bonus at the end of it. So something that puts you in your power, reminds you of the sweetness of your presence and what you have to offer, allows you a chance to really know that the life that you'd hoped for is possible this month. But it really takes you being aware and in your power to change things, to move away from energies that perhaps are uncomfortable, but you're comfortable with, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's dive into it, shall we? So the 3 cards that I pulled, we have the Judgment card, we have the Devil in reverse, and we have the Chariot card in reverse. Okay. So needing to be patient is definitely one of the things. I feel like your beliefs are being challenged, and really create the foundation for what you have yet to receive, as well as what you have to walk away from. So what is the life you're willing and wanting to lead, Gemini? I feel like that's very important here. And in what ways are you accepting things that do not allow you to fully stand in that truth, to live out that life? Me, for example, I've had to release a situation because my whole goal is to be more independent. And so if I continue to compromise that hope or that wish, that desire, by leaning into situations where I'm relying on certain spaces for my stability, then I cannot fully create the stability in my independence and in my freedom. So just sharing that with you in case that helps you out in any form or fashion. But yeah, it's like, it's very interesting, this Judgment card. So I'm going to sit with this for a second. Typically, the Judgment card is about releasing any restrictions, waking up to things, very much like I was talking about before. I feel like some of you, maybe one of you is like brushing your teeth as you listen to this. I'm getting something about like toothpaste and like dental hygiene. Maybe you're considering it's time to go to the dentist again, or being concerned about your dental health in some way. Whereas others of you, I feel like it's interesting. I'm not gonna say that, but I think that's funny. Okay. Some of you may also be engaging in some type of recreational activity while you're listening to this. And I feel like that could be part of what, if you look at it in a different way, maybe there's certain feelings or emotions that come through in this time when you're doing this recreational activity of some sort. And it's allowing you, I get, like, you may have anxiety or some type of really heavy emotional response that occurs, but it's just retraining you on the things in which you've kind of slacked off in some way. So whatever feeling you get, it feels overwhelming, it's kind of guiding you to have you recognize the type of discipline and the things you've got to start paying attention to now in order to help bring in this new beginning here. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I also feel like spending a little bit of time in the sun would be really important. Maybe some of you spend a lot of time on the computer, either doing research, doing your work. And I find that it's super important for you to maybe do something a little bit physical, do something with your hands. If you have some type of creative hobby that you can get engaged in, but something like you can really get a grasp on. I feel like maybe that's something you're asking for. Maybe you're wanting something a little bit more tangible in order for you to believe in yourself, in order to take some type of leap. And I feel like that has either come in or will come in, as long as you remain focused. Yes. So let's see. I also want to see if there's anything else for Gemini with this Judgment card. Nope, they're telling me to move on. Okay, so here, Devil card reversed. So this is releasing control in some way, some type of restriction, maybe either renegotiating or letting go of a contract. So if you're in some type of situation that has a contract or certain legalities or conditions attached to it, this is you kind of letting that go and fully realizing that that could have also been energetically holding you back in some way. It could have had you been playing small or being super cautious in your dealings, maybe withholding some of your truth and some of the things you'd like to speak. And now I feel like it's time for you to show your fangs in a way, time for you to be a little bit more of a go-getter, assertive, not necessarily aggressive, but assertive in some form or fashion. You may have felt like you've been really disregarded, like kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the group is what I'm getting here. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the effort that you've put into things. I feel like your passion has not, the passion that you've brought to a certain situation has not brought you nourishment. Instead, it's been nourishing others more than it has you. And so it's like your effort feels like it's been wasted to some degree, which is sometimes very difficult. But there's also just like maybe looking back, and it's like you're remembering all the times where you've put a little extra energy into something, put a little extra effort or energy into something and made yourself vulnerable, put yourself out on a limb, but are now in this kind of sensitive place because now you may think less of yourself because what you had hoped for and receiving in return wasn't really coming your way. And so I feel like it's very important for you to recognize that it's not your fault and that that has nothing to do with you. I feel like you're reaching a higher plane here, or reaching a space where you're really in your own energy, in your own power. That's going to offer you a lot of self-discovery and truth. I feel like whatever you're walking away from, there may have been a lot of like hidden animosity of some sort. Maybe just kind of like almost like a soul contract or like a soul cluster of people that are all having to learn the same type of lesson, just in different ways. It seems like all of the people, if this involves some type of group or collective of people, they're all kind of in the same space because you're all learning the same thing. So whatever judgment you have, whatever you're observing with these people around you who may also be involved in this type of situation or environment, kind of take some time and recognize, okay, how does that apply to you and your life? you know, like just hold up that mirror for a second and allow yourself to see truly what's going on there. Yeah. And I feel like whoever or whatever you're stepping away from may try to call you back. And I'm getting like Roadrunner from like Looney Tunes vibes. And it's just like Wile E. Coyote, like trying to get a piece of this Roadrunner, right? But like, you're escaping some type of trap. It's like something's alluring, but you're like, this still doesn't feel good. Nothing's really changed here. And just like being like, no, just going in a different route, trying new ways, which leads me to this Chariot card here in reverse. I think you're just tired. You're tired of playing games, especially games that knock your self-confidence. I feel like solar plexus energy, really healing oneself, being able to speak your truth, allowing your voice to be heard. I feel like something about like a wider audience or like casting your net. I mean, Gemini, you're all about communication, you know, throat chakra. But if you're not in a place of being centered with yourself, then you may have difficulty in that. I also feel something around like stars aligning. And I feel like it's within this lunar cycle, you know, just kind of like looking at some of the symbols here and all these stars and these two kind of crescents right here. And it's like your head, your consciousness is right in the middle of them. So it could be around the next full moon. I believe that is going to be the Scorpio full moon at the end of the month. So it's going to take a little bit of time, totally fine. But I feel like you're about to enter a space where there's a lot of different energies, ones that you're not used to, but also you're able to maybe recognize some similarities, and don't try to protect yourself if you see something that feels similar to what you just left. Instead, see it as a place of protection. One thing that I say is like, sometimes I'll find people, like after I've let a situation or a person go, I end up meeting the more upgraded version of that energy, of that consciousness, of that person through another being, through another situation. And so there's this consistent up leveling. So you never truly lose anything, you just gain a better version of it each and every time. So be mindful of that. Yeah. And I feel like you may also have sensitivity in terms of like what you give and what you put out, and wanting to make sure that it has the opportunity to grow. So I feel like getting your intentions in the right place, you having the opportunities to grow. I also feel like you want a place that feels like there's no separation, despite whatever roles are being played out, you know, despite whatever responsibilities there are. You want things to kind of go down the middle path in some way. Maybe you've been kind of feeling like you're on the battlefield, having to mediate a lot of things, and it's just kind of put you in this place where you feel like the clown, you know? It's like being that person who's sitting in those like on those dunk tank things, and like you're waiting for someone to like pass, throw you a pass, but instead they just dunk you into the water, dunk you into your doubt, into your feels. And like, it just takes time for you to have to dry off again, right? And it's just like, man, I really wish I brought a change of clothes. I don't know why it came through like that, but that's what I got. And I thought that was super funny. So, okay, Gemini. Here at the bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance card. So this is just signaling to me patience and belief and trusting, really adopting a new philosophy of life here. I feel like is super important. It's time to really heal in the mental body. I feel like whatever you've come out of, whatever you've experienced may have kind of interfered with a certain thought process or way of living that you were trying to establish, a way of inner being that you were attempting to establish. But I feel like you're right there. You're right there. This is almost the final challenge, but not quite. I'm also like getting something about like popcorn and also like fleur-de-lis, which is interesting. So I don't know if that pertains to someone reading this or what have you. But it's just like something about like buttery popcorn and also something about a fleur-de-lis. So it's maybe some type of like protection, maybe just like someone, maybe there's something like in the emotional body that kind of triggers something. I feel like maybe something switches and you're able to regain some type of passion. And gosh, and now I'm thinking of like someone like knitting or like a shag rug or something like that. And it's like something that takes a process. You're like having to pull things one by one, pull strings one by one. And it could be whoever is trying to approach you is just trying to get things ready, or maybe you're maybe you're getting the time to put some things together. You're kind of like, maybe it's something you've put down for a little while and now you're like, I can finally get back to it with this free time. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I have for you with this Temperance card right now. Okay, so let us get into some more cards here and see what else we've got for you, Gemini. So yeah, just one moment while I connect with these cards. Sauce. Maybe you're being a little bit, letting your personality show out a little bit more, being saucy, or perhaps you're making a sauce of some kind as you're listening to this, cooking. I kind of picked that up when I was looking at the Temperance card. I was like, is someone cooking like some pasta or something? But yeah, sometimes it's just those random things. They come in just so you're paying attention if you're that person. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay. That doesn't mean this isn't for you. So just sometimes those things come in to get people's attention. So this first card we have here with Judgment is Caution. And this is Mercury in Virgo. So I feel like whatever conversation you need to have, it's very important the tone which you relay the message. I feel like it's also important for you to recognize the tone in whatever messages you're receiving. I feel like someone lost their chance at acquiring something from you, gaining something from you. I feel like there's someone who, believe it or not, may have an imposter syndrome, or someone who's allowed you to feel like you're in a place of imposter syndrome, kind of like that stuff I was talking about earlier. So I feel like, yeah, and I feel like maybe someone kind of led you along thinking that something was going to grow or come to fruition, but like only one seed's been planted, but it hasn't been properly tended to. That's what I'm getting here. And like, that doesn't feel great. I know that doesn't feel great. Yeah, and so you may be a bit guarded. Maybe you're concerned about kind of the outcome of whatever this is. Maybe you're just maybe you're afraid that you're just trying to rush things or move too quickly. Maybe you want to take your time. And I feel like now is the time. I feel like now is the time to get going. Things are being set in motion, and you don't want to stick around for any changes that may occur. I think you've really got to be smart and kind of prepared. It's like, pay attention to the signs and signals you already know, and I feel like you've had an inkling of awareness with regards to this. So it's just being mindful, paying attention to that little inner voice, those recurring thoughts that come up, the ones that feel like they just come from a place of truth. And you know the difference. All right, with the Devil, we have concentration in the reverse. So with this, and it's interesting, there's like a little green devil here. I almost feel like someone was kind of playing with your heart a little bit. It's like they know what you want, and they just kind of, they're like a hobgoblin. Gosh, it's like routine is the hobgoblin of little minds or something. And it's so like you may stuck with something, making excuses. Someone might have made excuses to you, just kept you in their web. And I feel like you're this star right here. You're this star. It's like you're multifaceted, embodied, well integrated. And I feel like you, you were stuck to this web, kind of in the center of this web almost, as if you were like the focal point. Maybe you assisted weaving some web with this person unknowingly or knowingly. Maybe some messages that had to be put out. Maybe you were someone who, again, I was talking about that mediator energy in the, like being in the middle of stuff. And this is kind of what's coming through here with the concentration. So it may have knocked you off your path just a little bit. And it's interesting because this card represents Saturn in Gemini. And so like you may have lost your focus for a bit of a time just because of some of the things that had occurred throughout this situation. You were thinking you were expanding upon something, going in a certain direction, and it just kind of maybe stopped, right? Lack of focus, totally. And so this is really prompting you to look at more than one side of a situation. I feel like not all was lost. You've been maybe stuck in this portal through this web, you know, stuck in some type of portal, unable to access the other side in some way, shape, or form. Siphoned your energy a little bit too. Also, I feel like there's someone who only wants you to speak up when it benefits them and not when, and it's like not the whole truth and nothing but the truth, just the truth that serves me, right? Which is interesting. This Chariot card, we have charity. It's interesting. It's like the inner child in you kind of knows what's going on here, I feel like. Sorry, I'm just taking a moment with this. And it's like you're moving away from some type of institution or a place that feels like an institution. They don't really act like they are, but they are. You know, maybe someone who's really big on having a certain process, maybe rigid somehow in their thinking, and maybe you just know you don't really mesh with that vibe. Maybe you've tried to make some changes, but you know ultimately like they're not gonna stay. They may seem superficial in some way, right? I almost feel like you thought you were being as fair as you can, but someone knocked you from a position because you weren't carrying out what they wanted, right? And this person, whoever, or this institution's very unfocused. Very unfocused. Seems like chaotic at times even. Yeah. And I feel like one of the concerns, because we have riches in the reverse here, and this is Saturn in, Saturn in Capricorn. Whew, I just had my side. It just like brought tingles up my spine because I just had my Saturn return because my Saturn's in Capricorn. And yeah, I feel like one of the things you're just worried that you're not going to be capable, because I know a lot of people are worried about job security, worried about finances right now. Like a lot of people are. And I feel like maybe that was the one thing that's kind of held you back. It's just like, even if it's not great, at least you're making some money, right? But on the other side of the card, on the other side of the deck, we had isolation in reverse. And I feel like you're over supporting a space that doesn't support you, plain and simple. I feel like maybe you felt like you had community, but also were very separate from what you wanted, kind of like how we were talking about before. So just bringing that up again here. Let's see what else we've got for you, Gemini. So I'm just getting the word like constipated, you know, just holding on to something uncomfortably that you know you have to release or let go and allow to just kind of fall down the drain. All right, so next three cards we have out, we have the Four of Wands reversed. So again, this is you kind of resisting crossing a threshold where better things await you. This has a lot to do with feeling secure in the movements that you're making. Even though it may seem like a risk, or it seems like to other people what you're doing may seem like it would create less stability deep in your heart, you know that It will create more, because not everyone is aware of our intentions, and people only view our decisions from the lens of what they find is important to them. But those people that have our heart of hearts in mind are with us, and they get it, and they don't judge it, and they support, right? And they support you. And so you'll see those people who support you. You'll see those people who see you. And that'll help you even more, right? And it'll help you acknowledge even, in fact, like what types of qualities you exhibit based on who you attract and who is there for you, who's on your side, who's in your corner. We have this King of Wands in reverse, and I feel like this is fear of you stepping into that. Maybe you feel like, you know, maybe you've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, and maybe you feel like you're not going to make it through this next one. Like maybe things feel so big and insurmountable that you've lost your own sense of power and resilience in some way with this King of Wands. And it's saying, like, don't fret. You've been through these times before. And in fact, you've been even more empowered in these times before. So, like, what's the difference now? What is the difference now? So take a nice deep breath and allow yourself to feel that encouragement, and allow yourself to rest. I feel like you've been working so hard, so diligently, Gemini. Here we have the Six of Cups. So I feel like there's something good coming in for you. Your energy's getting harmonized. It's getting powered up. I feel like you're, remember we were talking about the inner child stuff later. It's like you're reconnecting with that playfulness, with that creativity, with that self-confidence, right? And it's like, it's just like you're divinely protected in some way, and you don't even have to worry about having to consciously protect yourself, because you already feel like you're in just this state of grace. And like, I'm feeling super lit up as I'm talking about this too. It feels so good. It's like there's something that just like, you just may have a sense of joy without necessarily having a reason for it. But I feel like it's just like your future self, like sending you a little like energetic message, like a little ping. It's reminding you to stick with your heart, right? To allow yourself to get those feelings of security, even if your reality doesn't match that. It's like for some reason you're able to move through this calmly and gracefully. It's like the path just opens up. It seems like a long, tumultuous tunnel, but it's a lot closer. The end of that tunnel is a lot closer than you think. And it's like the shadows, in fact, are just messing with your depth perception, is what I'm getting here. So anyways, Gemini, great reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, donate, book a reading, what have you. I'm here for it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.